So as we said, this is at 76 at the bottom. We've got a coaxial, long coaxial antenna with a long wire on it. We're going to intentionally try to pick up radio stations, and we're going to sweep the entire band. Ready? This is at 250 milliseconds. Feel free to say my name. Folks, that is a complete sweep right there. Now, for those of you who are new, you're going to have a hard time with this, but several of those voices were not radio stations. Okay? One of them was a bad word. As you may have heard, my name was called in there once. And that's another thing. Your brain and hearing, I've learned, is like a muscle. The more you use it, the more you develop it, the better you hear. Now, let's do something real quick. Okay? Now we're going to sweep, okay, same rate, no antenna, which is how we operate in the field or doing investigations. We don't intentionally try to pick up radio stations. I wanted to show you how few there were, or identifiable ones. Then this is no antenna. Now you're in radio station zone. All of these can potentially pick up radio stations in this area of the dial. That was one. I think. I'm fixing to go through the power station. No. You see? Now you're back in the non-radio station zone. Okay.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Nathan Thompson, the founder of Evidence of God and the Supernatural YouTube channel and the website, or I should say unfinished website, proofofgod.co, which we sometimes refer to as the Proof of God Initiative. That introduction is for those who don't know me, who maybe haven't been to the YouTube channel yet, but I do encourage you to go to the YouTube channel. If you're on the website, you will find some absolutely fascinating material there. The reason I am making this segment on the PSB7 device, as far as I know, except for some of the custom-made radios, it is, well, the others are radios. That is the difference. The PSB7 was made by Gary Golka, without getting into long-winded detail, and it was made specifically for this. So at the time I made the video that you are in the middle of watching right now on the PSB7, I was unaware that the PSB7 only puts out audio from even-numbered digits. All radio stations, according to FCC regulations, lie on odd-numbered digits. It was actually a non-believer, a business partner of mine, who pointed that out to me. He did a lot of research on the device. He was very fascinated. He made the statement. He goes, well, this is interesting. He hands me the device. He goes, whatever those voices are that is coming out of that device, he said, ain't radio stations. I said, why? He said, because the algorithm it's a digital radio, so the algorithm is programmed only to put out voices on the even numbered digits. With that said, he also explained that the 76 to 88 station, which I call the sweep section in my videos, he said those are actually designated by the FCC as TV stations. Now, needless to say, there aren't any, I guess that'd be UHF or VHF, one or the other, TV stations that you can pick up. But on 2 occasions, one in particular, and I believe it's the video, yep, evidence linking Satan, who I referred to the evil one, to aliens and UFOs, that was picked up in the 76 to 88 section, which is impossible, is kind of what I'm telling you. Interestingly enough, in this little section, I noticed today, I didn't at the time, but it looked like there was something trying to come through there. But folks, what I'm telling you is when I had the antenna on today in the video and off, every voice that came through was something other than a radio station. One of them used the F word. It was a female, said F-U. I heard Patrick a couple of times, and by the way, learned who Patrick is by seeing the video. It's pretty painful for me. Hear a spirit being sent to the lake, as in the lake of fire, the truth about hell and Satan, I believe it's called. It's a pretty rough one. I don't want to be too long-winded. Now what we're fixing to see, or going to see, is a section on, it's not really on editing the audio, but for the purpose of the example that I want to share today, you're going to see that on the screen. I'm going to be showing you how just changing the speed 20% in this case. What you're about to see was on a Saturday, the same day I recorded that video that you just saw. I did a section of audio where I bumped the mic, and the 2 spirits, Patrick always hung out with a lady. I don't know if it's his daughter, a relative, or a friend. And he goes, oops, or he goes, edit. Like, that's going to be an edit. I'm going to have to edit that out. And just one day playing around, I slowed it down only about 20%, and it turns to a female's voice. Now, this is where it gets mind-blowing. Are they one person? There are so many things that I can share with you guys about the afterlife that are truly mind-blowing. But if your tendency was to be a non-believer, or there's so much of this you're going to have to go through on your own. I hate to encourage anyone who is not, quote-unquote, a believer in God, aka Christ, a Christian, to buy a device, okay? There's a lot of dangers involved. But if you must buy the PSB7, record everything, use video, and then be prepared to use Audacity, or Audacity's free editing software, and only do noise removal and raise the gain up and down, the amplification. So gain, noise removal, and the what's the word they use? Amplification up and down, and harvest each word. You've got to be able to hear it, because if you get a device and you start listening, you're going to be disappointed. Your hearing has to condition. A lot of times you just can't hear it. I personally encourage you to put an antenna on it. So I take an outdoor antenna, I put the 2 clips on, or you can use an indoor. Put an antenna. Putting on your headphones, like, you know, Sean and Dan do at Supernatural Media, and some others do, Huff Paranormal. They can hear some stuff at the time, sure, absolutely they can, but they can hear even more stuff once they edit it. So I'm going through this now with some, quote, non-believers that I'm communicating with by email, and they're getting devices, and they're going to see that you have to edit it. You have to put it in the editing software, or you will not be able to make sense out of it typically. Okay, and the only reason they can't on Ghost Hunters and stuff like that is they have the benefit of editing the whole presentation. So they're only showing the words where they got it right, but that's another story. Okay, so thanks for watching. Please visit the channel, Evidence of God and the Supernatural. I'm N.J. Thompson with Evidence of God and the supernatural. Enjoy.
Okay, so as I was saying, this is a 5-second audio clip, 5 here. Sorry for the bad picture. This is at 100% or just regular playback speed. Take a listen. You hear a female voice saying edit. Edit. And of course you hear it sweeping. Nothing's been done. Okay, now what I did is this is 5 seconds out of, see, the whole thing was several minutes. So I just highlighted this. This is 80% speed. Edit. Pretty wild, huh? Now all of a sudden it's a male's voice. Edit. Now let's look at another thing here. Here's where the words are, edit, which is right here at 8.5 seconds. All right, so there's a second from here to here. This is right in the middle. So what is that, a half second? So that is, I don't know how many of the little dots that we've already been through, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. So maybe 3 or 4 dots. That's 3 or 4 radio stations. So let's go to the full speed one. Again, this is the whole 5 seconds here. So how does this right in here in the middle transcend those 3 or 4 dots? It couldn't is the answer. Edit. So as we said, this is at 76 at the bottom. We've got a coaxial, long coaxial antenna with a long wire on it. We're going to intentionally try to pick up radio stations, and we're going to sweep the entire band. Ready? This is at 250 milliseconds. Folks, that is a complete sweep right there. Now, for those of you who are new, you're going to have a hard time with this, but several of them. Feel free to say my name.